In this video tutorial, we will discuss how to add a routing container to your Smart Carrier account. A routing container establishes an inbound call route to the IP address or IP addresses to your system in order to receive inbound calls. For example, when a customer dials a phone number provided to you by Smart Carrier, also referred to as a DID, the routing container tells Smart Carrier where the call should be sent to. Please note, if you do not have the IP address of your system on hand, please contact your system administrator. We will now provide you with an example. Start by logging into app.smartcarrier.io and navigate to Inbound Call Settings, as shown. Under the heading Rejecting Inbound Calls, you have an option to reject inbound calls based upon the amount of inbound call attempts in a given time frame. For example, if you are receiving unwanted inbound calls to your phone system, in many cases spam or malicious phone calls, here you have the ability to reject the inbound phone calls. This can save you and your telephone agents valuable time by blocking unwanted calls to your phone system. If you wish to reject any inbound calls as mentioned, click the Yes button via the Based on Inbound Calls per ANI option as shown. This means that any inbound calls placed to your system with a specific ANI, also referred to as a caller ID or the caller's phone number, will be prevented from calling your system in the time frame that you wish to define. In this example, we will reject any inbound phone calls to your system if there are more than 5 calls in a 2-minute period. From the If the Same Number Calls More Than drop-down menu, we will select 5. From the Times In drop-down menu, we will select 2, as shown. We have now blocked any inbound calls to your phone system if the same caller's phone number attempts to dial your phone system more than 5 times in 2 minutes. Next, we will configure the IP address that inbound calls should be sent to. Start by selecting the plus icon, and a window labeled New Routing Container will appear as shown. Enter the container name you wish to use for the routing container. Please note, this can be any name as it is only used to describe the specific routing container. In this example, we will call the routing container Main Inbound Calls, as shown. After you have entered your preferred routing container name, click Submit, and a new menu below will appear, as shown. Please note, a 4-digit container ID will be automatically provisioned. In this case, 1211, as shown. This is for internal use only, and you can move down to the Routing IPs menu, select the Add button, and the Routing IP window will appear as shown. In the box labeled Address, enter the IP address of your system as shown. In this example, the IP address of our server is 24.19.111.95, which we have entered as shown. Please note, if you enter an invalid IP address or an IP address outside of the United States, you will receive an error advising you that the IP entered is not in the US as shown. In the next box labeled Port, enter the port number of your system. Please note, the port is usually 5060 and will be pre-populated by default. If you are not sure what port number to use, please contact your system administrator. In this example, we will leave the port at the default 5060 and click Save, as shown. In some cases, your system may have multiple IP addresses to send calls to for load balancing purposes on high-volume systems. If calls need to be sent to multiple IP addresses, we simply need to repeat the previous step by clicking Add, entering the IP address, in this case 24.149.111.96, and click Save, as shown. You will now have the ability to select and view your routing container from any routing container dropdowns or menus in SmartCarrier. Thanks for watching.